Hello everyone, this is Blip on the Radar. I'm Mark Palermo. Today is a rundown of some music videos. Music video rundown. Nicki Minaj featuring Chris Brown, Right By My Side, directed by Benny Boom. Minaj is pining for the one who got away. In the song, that's Chris Brown. He appears in the video as well, but playing her boyfriend is Nas, which is sort of a strange choice. It's as though Minaj didn't want Chris Brown, given his controversial relationship past, to be her boyfriend. So Nas is cast there. Khalees's ex-husband, I guess that's better. And the video itself really tries to be this visualization that Benny Boom does of Minaj's Barbie girl lifestyle that she really sort of tries to enforce through her image a lot. And that kind of comes through in, the pastel colors. Characters are almost lit. Minaj and Nas almost look like Barbie and Ken dolls. There's a plastic sheen to them. The video is extremely heavy on crossfades, and Benny Boom kind of, brings back this luxury lifestyle that Minaj is after again, but sort of treats it without the satirical edge that I wish it had, and especially that Benny Boom brought to his movie debut, Next Day Air, which was sort of a very kind of funny look at this quest for wealth, and that doesn't happen here. It's a little too straight-faced. It's of course no help that this is one of Minaj's pop songs, that it's so utterly generic that you almost have to will yourself to recognize that it's playing in the same environment as you. Boom had previously directed Nicki Minaj's video Bees in the Trap, which had I don't think that video entirely worked, but it had a gothic flavor to it, which really brought out sort of the weirder aspect of Nicki Minaj, which she tries to fight too much in her songs. It was Bees in the Trap was one of, I thought, two good songs that were on Roman Reloaded. That and Come on a Cone. Of course, they can't really release Come on a Cone as a single, I don't think, because it's a little too naughty. But those two tracks did have a fun and a weird vibe to them. And when Minaj actually tries to kind of bring some of that strangeness into the Right By My Side video, for instance, there's this face that she makes at the end when she's sitting on a bench with Nas, and it kind of ends sort of, with her glaring into the camera in this weird way. Almost like, the face Michael Jackson makes at the end of Thriller, where, we realize he's still possessed, and it doesn't fit at all. It's almost like giving us one final look saying, this was all a joke. This isn't the real me. I don't care about this touchy-feely stuff. And I think that kind of, lack of really a conviction of what Right By My Side is about sort of hurts it. It weakens it in a way. It's an attractive video and the stars look good, but it is still a trifle. Music video rundown. Next up is Passion Pit, Take a Walk, directed by David Wilson. Take a Walk is the first single from Gossamer, which is the new Passion Pit album. What's kind of fascinating about pop music right now is that I feel like through the entire span of my life, there's never been a time where what's popular and what's cool has been quite as divided as they are right now. Still, you see certain artists who, try to counter this. I feel like, Kanye West is able to cross over in that sense. And I feel like Passion Pit, who have a real pop sensibility, are kind of doing the same. The new single is very fun. It feels like an upbeat summer anthem. It really annoyed me at first because it almost, the music to it really sort of sounded like a sped up version of MGMT's hit Kids, which was in every fucking teen movie for the past 4 years. But as, the days went on, I kind of found myself with Take a Walk in my head. It just sort of replaying. I'm not the biggest Passion Pit fan in the world, and that's because, I'm a guy. But there is a novel idea going on in this video, which is that a bouncy ball is thrown, and the ball kind of documents the life that's going on in this neighborhood as it keeps bouncing. Now, obviously, the throw doesn't quite work in a realistic manner because the camera movements are a little too smooth. It's bouncing for a little too long. I've never been able to, go to the store and buy a ball that kind of lasted me like this and had this much bounce in it, but it's a good idea. The trouble is, the video doesn't really do much with this idea. the ball doesn't see anything interesting. Time and time again, it's just looking at clouds in the sky. It would have been cool, I think, if Wilson had actually involved characters that are like these slices of life that the ball keeps passing, and these miniature stories going on. But instead, it's just kind of it fits with the idea of the song, which is an excursion, a getaway. But I feel that it's crucial that something happen on that getaway. Why does nothing happen? Here's a couple looks at some of the fascinating things that this bouncy ball sees in Take a Walk. There are a couple nice touches here. The woman who's like, picking up all her items on the city street as the ball passes. Like these kind of little slices of sorrow's daily annoyances, or else, happier things like the kid playing baseball. We pass various people who I'm not sure if they're members of Passion Pit, but that's my own weakness. All white people look the same to me. The song itself is pretty interesting because Passion Pit had this hit from a few years ago, The Reeling. It was about, being trapped as a teenager, feeling like you're unable to get out of your situation. It should have been like, it could have been like the final song in The Breakfast Club or something. It was a great teen anthem. And this time they're bringing into, the popular kind of musical universe, a song that's about economic crisis. And you wouldn't really get that idea from watching the video, but the idea of taking a walk is, of course, to how as a human race we kind of are capable of dealing with our issues. We get away, we give our mind a rest by going on a walk, getting out, and that's all that happens in this. It's but it's kind of that idea of antimatter which almost consumes this thing. There's almost no sort of weight that's kind of grounding it all, that we feel that we need to escape from within the course of the video. It's a good idea. It almost sort of takes off that movie Rubber, which was about the bouncing rubber tire, but does it all from a first-person bouncy ball point of view shot. Novel concept, definitely a real slickness to it, but it isn't really realized as I feel it should be. So that's the music video roundup. It's not really a roundup because I only did 2 videos. That was the first time I lied to you, but it will not be the last. Blip on the Radar, Mark Palermo.